going to charge my vape with my computer.
I'm already doing that. So, you late.
Hold on.
We're living in the future, Chase.
Yep.
You said that right after I plug mine in. You know.
Plugging it in.
Really, Chase?
Yep. Anybody born after like 95 ain't even fucking get that shit.
Okay. Oh, speaking of being a certain age. All right, so let me start the show, and then I'll talk about this, because I had a moment yesterday, and I don't know if anybody else has these moments, like when you realize that you're old, or like when you. All right, I'll talk about it.
All right.
When you make references to like a room full of 20-year-olds, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
No, it was worse. It was worse than that, because it wasn't just 20-year-olds. All right, so welcome back. This is Scarcasm Live. Chase is in the building. Sam is in the building. We all in the building. Say what's up to the people.
What is up to the people?
Sam doesn't want to say hello. All right. So this happened to me yesterday. I wanted to just get the intro out of there. So here's what had happened. So I was in a side of town I don't really go to very often.
Uh-huh.
And I had to stop at a Wawa, because, you know, it was getting low on gas. Had to stop at a Wawa. And let me tell you, this Wawa was jumping. Like, it was jumping. It was like trying to, like, you know, when you just kind of drive around trying to figure out where you can get in. And sometimes you might just have to park and wait for somebody to finish. That kind of jumping. So I go inside, and a song starts playing. And it's a song that I know very well. It's Step by Step by New Kids on the Block. Now, I know, and people my age know, that was a really popular song for around the time when I was, you know, the age of, you know, I was in the age range of the people who were interested in New Kids on the Block and their music. I was never really a huge fan, but I used to be married to someone who is still a fan. So I know this song very well, but I know the song enough to know that the background music is also the Captain Planet song. So and I also know enough to know that the Step by Step that we know as Step by Step is actually the remix. But I also know that it's the Captain Planet song. The background music is exactly the same. It is like there is no difference between Step by Step and Captain Planet. So like I go to look around for someone to tell this to. Like, hey, it's Captain Planet. And I'm in Wawa, and everybody is either way younger than me or way older than me, and there was nobody in this Wawa for me to connect to in my age range. And I just felt lonely in that moment. Like, I can't even talk about Captain Planet because, like, all of the older people don't give a shit about Captain Planet. Like, the younger people probably never heard about Captain Planet. I'm just kind of on an island standing in line in a long ass fucking line and just there's Wawa that's jumping like a motherfucker. But like I'm just on an island in this fucking Wawa about fucking Captain Planet. Like,
so can I tell you something? I had no idea the connection to them. No clue. No idea.
You had no idea?
Well, A, I don't listen to
You didn't know this stuff?
So that's probably the first thing.
Well, B, but you never knew that. You never knew that it was the same song.
No, because I never gave 1% of a crap about New Kids on the Block. I heard the song, and you know, okay, well, that's a cool song, but never made that connection. I don't even remember the Captain Planet theme.
Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero.
That was like your version is it's not quite like a lounge singer strip out all the cool out of it, but it was just like there was nothing there that actually sounded appealing at all. Like there was just nothing. Like how did you just strip everything out of the theme song to a
kids had heard that version of the song, they would not have watched the show.
Because
for real.
Because I basically just talked the song. But anyway, I have a thing too, like The kids these days.
Didn't LeVar Burton play in that?
And I'm not talking about like kids. I'm talking to like older than like in the 20s, you know, but older than 20, like 23, 25, going on 30. Some of them haven't even heard of like a lot of shit. And there's so much like information out there with the social media and the Googles and the Wikipedias and all this shit. And you ain't even heard of fucking anything. When I was going to school, like, it's not like only thing we ever heard of was fucking Korn and Limp Bizkit. We had heard of old shit too. And then I've met people that had never heard of fucking Led Zeppelin. I'm like, really?
Oh, so they never heard of the band that just stole everything from legendary bluesmen that no one has ever heard of and turned it into rock music and became fucking famous off of that shit. That Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Steven Led Zeppelin? Like, we stole all this shit, Led Zeppelin? Like, for real? Like, that's the one they never heard of? That one?
Yeah. I'm just baffled, like, how, like, in this year or in this decade, everyone just, like, is. And anything kind of past that, it's just like...
I think there's some kind of weird disconnect by the way that they were raised and maybe we were raised, because I was raised, on, my parents, I watched and listened to whatever the heck they did. So there was a lot of older stuff that I knew about. And I think for some reason that's missing from the kids now.
Yeah, there was a whole post about Luther Vandross. And like half the fucking people in the comments had never heard of him because of the whole thing they come out when he was talking about the Beatles and shit, where he was just like riffing. They were like, "Who the fuck is this? And why do I even care what he has to say?" And I was like,
there was somebody on Twitter who had never heard of Jodeci, and I'm like, you are a liar because someone in your life at some point, whether it's your aunt or parents or somebody, had to have played Jodeci in the house.
There was this thing on Instagram where the homie Kev on stage, right? The homie Kev on stage said that he had, he grew up in a Christian household and he never really listened to Anita Baker. And that became like this huge thing. Like, you never heard of Anita Baker? Like, what's wrong with you? That's Anita Baker. And then, so like, this is a back and forth on his like Instagram and stuff like that. And people saying, shame on you. And he's like, fine, I'm gonna buy some tickets and, I'm go. And then all this other stuff. And then he had his mom on, right? And his mom was sitting there talking, and she was talking, and he brought his mom on to confirm that, like, they grew up in a really Christian household, and it wasn't really no Christian, anything outside of the Christian music and stuff like that, or whatever like that. And then his mom started singing Rapture. It betrayed immediately. Like, he didn't know that his mama knew about it. He just said no. So like all of this stuff happened, and like he actually went and put in his research. He actually bought those tickets and went and had a great time. But like this is the thing about it is, I think the disconnect. I think I think it is with the parents, because I know a lot of parents that listen to the same music that their kids listen to, like younger parents, listen to the same music that their kids listen to, now. And because of that, like, they're not listening to all of this old stuff. Like your parents, the young parents may have heard of Jodeci, but like, they not going, like, they're not carrying this stuff forward. I went to Walmart briefly today to go get my, I went to go get a few things, and I saw the ice cream. I got some Millennium Crunch. I got a half gallon. It's about to go down as soon as this joint is over with. But while I'm on my way into the store, and a SUV crosses in front of me, and it is a lady who looks like a young parent. And it's a car full of prepubescent young ladies. And everybody in that car is singing a song by Cardi B, including the mom is they're all Cardi B in it in that moment. Like, so like that's all I'm saying. Like, I think the disconnect is like our parents didn't really give a whole lot of shit about the music that we listened to because they knew what they liked. And then they knew what they grew up with, and they held on to some of that, and then they moved on to the stuff that they felt like was age appropriate for them. These new parents don't have that. Like they all about the same shit right now.
Yeah, I mean that's a good. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I mean, I think a lot of it also has to do with like a lot of them being a bit younger and wanting to stay young. I guess that there's a lot of that going on too.
Yeah,
be like, yeah, I'm hip, I'm with it, And just for the record, I'm not hip or with it. So.
yeah, you were very much not, very much not. Mm-hmm.
Keep your comments to yourself.
All I'm saying is you're not. I didn't say nothing further than just confirming that you are very much.
No,
not.
like somebody was asking me about some rapper or other. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So just keep it moving.
Yeah. It's like Chase doesn't know anything outside of fucking 90s hip hop in various forms of metal.
You're supposed to respond, Chase.
I know a lot of shit. I'm like acclimated to the. I'm down with the Migos. Not really.
Oh God, stop that.
I love the Migos. Like I listen to everything. Like I listen to a lot of this new dude music, and I actually call it new dude music. But I listen to a lot of the new dude music. There's things that I like, and there's things.
Samuel's over here.
I've tried.
Samuel's over here trying to police me.
I listened to the Spider-Man soundtrack. It was all right, but I'm not going to go dig for any of their music, any of those people's music, though.
I know you're about to get a Post Malone tattoo.
Yeah, right on my forehead.
I mean, I'm a fan of lows. Like them. Like if you got bass and you got them 808s popping, I'm more inclined to listen to your song than anything else. Like I played Old Town Road in the whip quite a few times because that shit got lows. You know what I mean? So like, do y'all even know about Old Town Road?
Old Town Road.
Like, they got some great deals, especially the one next to the Home Depot.
Bruh, I'm talking about them lows, dog. Like them, them bass, like in the 808s, ones that they hit you in your chest. Like,
all right, bro, if anything hits me in the chest, I'm going to the doctor.
Bruh, we are not doing this right now.
That's why I've always said that like Scar will be down with some doom metal because it's got them lows.
No, I like 808s. I'm pretty sure those aren't 808s.
Well, my guitar right now is like tuned like 5 steps down from standard tuning.
I'm good. I don't need all that. Like, I'm cool with some of it. And like, here's the thing. My coworker, who I've explained on several different occasions that I don't just like, like hip hop. Like I like a whole lot of like rock music. I'm a relatively intermediate Metallica fan and stuff like that. But like every time she goes to lunch and she comes back and she's playing something really loud, and I'm just like, hey, I know that song. I like that song. And I start singing it. She always looks at me with like how your dog looks at your answering machine, like for old people, how your dog looks at your answering machine when your voice comes out. Like, what the fuck? So like, it's one of those things where it's like, and she does this every single time. And I was like, I'm trying to explain to her, like, yo, I listen to everything except country. I fucking hate country music. But like, other than that, but like, even with country music, I know a lot because I'm forced to listen to a lot of it.
I know some popular songs only because on the ad board at work, they play a lot of like clips from videos and stuff like, oh, check out the new whatever. Check out the new Imagine Dragons. It's coming. And so that's the only reason I know these songs, because then I'll go somewhere else and I'll hear the song playing. I'm like, oh, I know that. That's Casey Musgrave or whatever. Like that's the only way I know anything.
Well, what hurts me is I'll make a reference to some movie or something, and be like, oh yeah, well that's where that meme's from, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's really difficult when I'm at work, because I will make references to movies and TV shows and stuff like that nobody else has even seen. Like sometimes when I can make black references, like I have one or two coworkers, there's only one other black person that is a part of the office staff. So like sometimes I make references to him and he's like, okay, I get that, and he'll laugh. But I am the youngest of the office staff by at least 10 years. So like there's a lot that I reference and they have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Like none. And it's a little weird. Like there's nobody of the office staff for me to connect to at all when I'm at work. I just kind of exist, I guess, in a weird space when I'm at work.
well, I think that just comes with people of our I might have my niche with certain like off-brand music styles, and then Samuel has his niche and you have your niche, and none of them are normie shit.
But do I have a niche? I feel like I'm varied, but I'm varied for someone of my age.
Yeah, but that is a niche too. It's just being varied. Like when people say, like basic bitch, that goes for guys too. Like I see these white couples, and I'm like, man, you guys are boring. Like what the fuck? Like, what do you guys? What does that couple have in common? That they both like fucking Italian food? Like, what do you guys do together that's not like eating or just having kids? Nothing.
Did this conversation just turn and I have no idea how it got here?
Yeah, so we'll keep some filler stuff.
Yeah, the conversation just turned. Hopefully it doesn't turn in the direction of like twa. But
oh god. Or the movie Rapping.
Yes, rapping. Ooh.
This movie had to happen.
Yeah, where they had a detour and it ended up being the whole show.
Yeah, no, there's a line that Ice-T says in the song, in the theme to rap.
No, I'm explaining. I know. The chase. I'm explaining the chase.
So it has to be one of the dumbest lines. Rapping. This movie had to happen. Like, no, it didn't.
Not at all. There's no reason why this had to. We did not need a rap version of Robin Hood. Like for real. Like we just didn't need this.
Oh, he was rapping Hood. Remember?
Yeah, John Rapping Hood. Like, nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of here with this shit, like it's kind of like
wasn't it Eric LaSalle, or was it like Mario Van Peebles?
No, it was Mario Van Peebles, I believe.
Oh God.
It was Mario Van Peebles.
Please turn the conversation in another direction, please. Anyone?
Oh no, I could take it in a worse direction. We could talk about Carmen.
Oh, well,
the Christian singer.
No,
that's Carmen.
The retelling of the opera, but made for the hip hop kids for MTV, starring Beyonce.
This was like 99 or 2000 or something.
I don't give a fuck. I own that shit. I love that shit. Most definitely.
I'm informing Chase, our pale friend here.
I used to like those MTV movies, yo. Like back before they went like full on away from music. I used to like those MTV movies. Some of the VH1 shit too. I own Played, which is a movie that's kind of based off of. Huh?
The Wood? That's an MTV movie.
The Wood is that was like an MTV production, but like that was an actual like fucking movie in the theaters. So like that doesn't count. I'm talking about these made for TV movies.
Excuse me, sorry.
You mean like Jailbait?
Yeah, and then
the hell?
I have no idea what Jailbait is.
It's about a kid who gets.
There was that one movie. Go ahead.
It's about a kid who gets he gets in trouble for statutory rape, but it's a comedy. But I don't really remember much from it. I just remember a line from it that me and Max still quote to this day, to where he was getting arrested or whatever, and his friend was like, "What? You're getting arrested? What do you get arrested for?" He was like, "I don't know, but something about statues."
There's this movie that like no one knows what the hell this is. No one has seen this movie, but there was this movie that was made for MTV, and it was a movie. I just looked it up. It's called Love Song, and it starred Christian Kane and Monica. And it was a made for MTV movie where Christian Kane and Monica ended up in love. It was about some music shit. And at the time, I loved that shit. I could probably watch that shit now and be like, man, this is dumb as fuck. But at the time, that was the shit. The same reason why I own Played and I own Carmen and like some of this other shit. Like, I can't believe I actually own this shit on DVD. Like that shit just hit me. Like I own some of this shit, this dumb shit. Like Played is like the absolute worst fucking movie ever. Like it's down there. Like Played is basically a takeoff of the Biggie and Tupac thing, and it basically
that one.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. So I own that movie. Like I really do own that movie. Oh, didn't old boy play in that joint? Merlin Santana.
Did he? God.
He played in that before he died.
Yeah, I think I remember. He was like a knockoff Tupac or something, like a dime store Tupac.
He looked like the Tupac character, but he basically played the Biggie character. They kind of swapped the characters around. It's weird. It
sounds really. It sounds like a train wreck. I must watch this.
Yeah, it's like if you can find it. I think that was a VH1 movie. But it's like
I remember when it came out. I just never saw it because I never had much interest.
Have you ever heard of The Bus Driver?
Is that a Nick Freno movie?
No, The Bus Driver. The Bus Driver is a rapper.
Oh,
and like Bus Driver actually does the rapping for, I guess. I don't want to call him Merlin Santana. It's motherfucking Romeo. But like we all know him as Romeo. Like who doesn't know? Like when you say Romeo, like like it's only two Romeos, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's
only two Romeos.
I mean, it's Romeo. It's Romeo from Steve Harvey, and then there was the Romeo from Immature. Like those are the two Romeos, right?
Well, what about the Romeo from Romeo and Juliet?
What about I give a fuck about that Romeo, except for possibly the 90s version of Romeo and Juliet.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
Fucking white people, man. White people love that shit. Like, bruh.
It's so over the top and fucking crazy.
Yeah, shout out to my man that ended up playing in Oz. What's his name?
I can never remember his name, but
he played Mercutio, and he was like a scratch, like that. All of that was just way over the top. You know what? At the time, I really did love that shit. I'm not sure I would love it now, like kind of like the rest of this, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Did you ever see the Ethan Hawke version of Hamlet, where it's played just like Romeo and Juliet, where it's in modern times, but they talk like that?
I was never really a Hamlet guy.
It's really that's how that's even the to be or not to be speech inside a blockbuster.
Nah, let me tell you what I watched. I watched the updated version of Othello. What's that shit called? Oh, was it just called
Oh,
bruh.
All that.
I watched.
I was on TV one random day, and I was like, "Let me check this out."
Bruh, I watched that shit like for real. Like, what's that? Mackay Pfeiffer? Mackay Pfeiffer was, bruh. That was just like, yo. First of all, I liked Othello. Like, we read it in school, and then we watched like a old video about it.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you just put that in the chat. Man, why you do that to me? But yeah, was just like, why did anyone need to make this? Like, it was like, because they made Romeo and Juliet, now they feel like they need to make all the rest of this shit. But like, for real, he did the speech in the. All right, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that right now.
Yeah, because the Romeo and Juliet one day, it was like modern times, but they still talked in the Shakespearean canter or whatever it's called.
But Scratch.
But there's another one I saw that was like a version of Macbeth, but it was like a fast food joint. I think I might have talked about.
Oh my gosh!
I think I talked about that on the show before, but it had what's his face? The Willem Dafoe was not Willem Dafoe. Maybe it was. Yeah, no, the other guy, the guy in the Fatboy Slim music video.
Yeah, that was. There we go. Christopher Walken.
Yeah, he was in it. He played the cop or whatever, the guy that's trying to like figure all the fucking shit out. But yeah, it was called like something Pennsylvania or something like that. But yeah, it was.
The Hamlet had Bill Murray in it playing Polonius. Julia Stiles playing his daughter Ophelia. It had a bunch of Lee Shriver was Laertes, Cotton Weary.
Man, that dude is everywhere, bruh. That dude, and like, here's the thing about Liev Schreiber.
He's always cotton weary.
No, he's always cotton weary. Like,
he's in the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like, he's just one of those people. He's everywhere, but you don't really quite remember him from anything. Like, he wasn't, like, we remember him as Cotton Weary, but he wasn't even in the movie that much. Like,
he really wasn't.
He wasn't in the movie that much.
But every time you see him, you're like, oh, that's Cotton Weary.
Yeah. So, and he's played so many other, like, don't nobody ever call him Sabretooth? Like, nobody ever calls him Sabretooth. Like, he was in, like, he did a lot of Sabretooth, like, way more of Cotton Weary, but we keep seeing him as Cotton Weary. That's crazy. Like, and he plays in so much stuff.
Yeah, he was Kingpin in Spider-Verse.
Yeah, maybe that just says a lot about, like, either the Cotton character or just him as a role, to where he wasn't even really in the movie that much, but it was still this foreboding, like, thing, like, almost of a main character, to where...
It's because, like, we remember that movie, and parts of that movie, those movies were so laughable, that even, like, the bad guy, or the supposed bad guy, it's just, like... It's memorable, yeah.
Maybe it's just. I think it's just like that. This is one of those things that there's a lot of actors that are not like the actors. Like, this is what we know you from, so we always gonna call you that. Like I was just talking about Romeo. Like Romeo. Like I don't want to call him Merlin Santana. That's Romeo from Steve Harvey Show. Like that's Romeo. Like that's all I think right now. And that's how I relate to my people. Be like, yo, Romeo from the Steve Harvey Show? Yeah, he played in this stupid ass movie. Like that.
Also, I think it's because Lee Schreiber is just like a dude that, like, unless you see his name, you're like, I don't know who that dude is. That's kind of weird.
You know what? For a long time, I did not know his actual name. He was like, for real. Like when I seen him in something, it was just, oh yeah, that's Cotton. Like I didn't know his actual name. Like he's one of those people. Like he's famous, but like, is he like famous? Like, like there was that really big thing. I think it was Chris Rock hosted the Oscars or something like that, and he made a joke about Jude Law. Like, and he's just like, fucking Jude Law, like, fuck out of here. And like, the other actors got a little bit upset. It was like, Jude Law is one of our finest actors. Like, but like, ain't nobody heard of Jude Law since. Like, what the fuck? It's just Jude Law. It's not even really that serious. Like, I know Jude Law, like, as the dude from Gattaca. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even think, cannot think of 3 Jude Law movies right now off the top of my head.
He was an the AI movie.
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played a
Marvel.
android thing that was like a sex bot or something, right?
You know what? I never even seen the movie. I just know he was in it.
Yeah, see, like I don't look. I just found out that he's the voice of the robot in Neo Yokio. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm looking at his filmography. There are things on here that I had no idea he was in.
Yeah. So like, yeah, and see, like I'm saying, he's just not that memorable. So like, he's always gonna be the dude from Gattaca to me because I really liked Gattaca back in the day.
Gattaca was a weird movie.
Yes, it is. It was like super weird, and it was so tense. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just weird and like just like I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm not a movie reviewer, so like the tension that you feel for Ethan Hawke's character, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is that shit real? Like, you know, y'all might get caught, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, it's about to go down. Your jeans ain't right. Nigga, your jeans. Like, you know what I mean? It's down to your jeans. Like, your jeans make a difference here. And like, you ain't got the right jeans, so you got to go to Jewel Law to get his jeans. You know what I'm saying? That's real. Like I said, you got to get DNA samples. My man got to scrub himself, like to get all of his stuff off, and he just got to leave like little pieces of hair from Jewel Law around because shit, you got to do something. You know what I mean? To get up in the world, like that was some real shit, yo.
Yeah. Maybe you should review movies since you're not like a movie reviewer.
No, I'm gonna tell you though. I'm gonna tell you some real shit. All right, I'm about to do a spoiler alert for Gattaca, but like Gattaca came out in '97. Like, if you ain't seen Gattaca by now, like, come on, dog. What is we doing right now? Maybe you don't give a shit. But like,
they played Gattaca in fucking school, man. Like, I watched it in like in English class. Like, I don't know why we watched it, but we watched it.
Okay, so for real. At the very end, when he's ready to get away with everything, and like the whole jeans thing runs out, and my man at the end lets him on that ship, and he said, "You know, my son is one of y'all." And you know, like I didn't like those. They ain't the exact thing he says. I'm paraphrasing here, but like when he lets him through at the end. Kind of got a little misty. Like, that shit meant something to me. Like, my son. Like, I got to believe that my son can actually rise up and find his own Jewel Law and rise up in our society right now. Because my son is, you know, like, that was some real shit. I felt that shit at the time. Like, for real. Like, that's a real nigga right there. Like, shout out to my mans who let him in at the last minute. Like, that's some real shit, bro.
Yeah.
Now I think of it, I think Mr. Crutchfield just wanted to watch Gattaca. I don't think there was any reason we were even watching it.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's still thinking about that.
Yeah. Man,
What are some weird movies that y'all watch, like in high school? That, like, the teacher just popped on and is like, "Here, y'all go to town. I'm gonna go off and do some other stuff."
No, see, I didn't really have a whole lot of that shit. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, I did.
I don't think it was high school, but like the amount of times that teachers tried to show us Rudy was just fucking ridiculous. Like,
I had my my geography teacher in 9th grade.
You mean the greatest football movie of all time?
She showed us that movie.
you shut your fucking pie hole on that shit. Don't ever say
this. This is funny.
Okay. We're listening.
Yeah, and you know, when he gets on the field and does a few plays or whatever, you try to look at my teacher and she's over there like just crying. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what got me in school though. What got me in school was the first time I seen from beginning to end E.T.
Really?
Bruh. I've seen E.T. like E.T. you know, when it come on like HBO and stuff like that, but that's usually when you like flipping through channels or whatever like that. I never sat down and watched E.T. from beginning to end. And let me tell you, the end of damn E.T., that first time I had seen that shit, bruh, I was in there really like balling, like for real. Like I felt every bit of that. Like I don't know. Like sometimes a brother get emotional.
You just yelling at the teachers like, "Who brought the onions in here?"
I just kind of kept it to myself. I'm like, like I really felt that shit though. What was the last time you felt emotional during a movie or TV show for that matter?
Okay, it's weird for me because, like, growing up, it's not like I wasn't emotional or whatever. It's just things that I was supposed to cry at, I was, like, not really crying at. Mostly when everybody's, like, crying at church, I was like, I'm gonna cry. I wanna feel this. And I'm just like, I can't. And then, but now, it's like random shit. We were watching The Mask with Jim Carrey. And when he first got the mask and he was like, oh, and got it, I was like tearing up and shit. And I was like, why am I fucking crying here? What the fuck is like sad about or like emotional about this shit? And then another thing, we were watching, me and the kids were watching Homeward Bound, and I was just sitting there like fucking animals. The fuck?
Oh no! Do you know the real story about Milo and Otis?
Oh, I heard about it. I don't want to hear it again. Please don't.
Yeah. That no animals were harmed in the making of this movie. That wasn't the case with Milo and Otis. So like that's some stuff that'll really make you cry. Like, you know, when this animal goes off of this cliff, it actually went off of the cliff. You know what I'm saying? Like it really went off the cliff.
Into those animals that were just like,
yeah,
like, man, I'm gonna go break your legs now. I see how you like it.
Yeah, and I mean that's some real stuff. Like and like, so I can't even watch that because I think I would cry, like for real. What was the last thing it got you, Sam?
I have to say, let's see what.
Well, he's thinking I have another one. Like
You go ahead.
we were watching freaking Jurassic Park. The first time we saw the fucking brontosauruses, I was like fucking tearing up. I was like, what the fucking dinosaurs? Like every time, like all this shit, I'm just like tearing up, and like these parts that are not like a sad part or whatever. It's just like, I don't know. I just get fucking teary-eyed over this like, random shit.
You know what? The older I get, the more things actually get me. So like, bruh, like a sports movie or something like that, or like or like something with some combat or something like that. Like when the end happens and they are triumphant and you know how much they went through to get there, I do feel a little something.
So you feel something every time you watch Rudy, right?
No, because I will never watch that shit ever again. I will never watch that shit ever again. I said as I got older, I feel that shit. I have not watched Rudy since like fucking high school, and I will never watch that shit. I would never watch that shit ever again. Fuck that shit. Fuck Rudy. There's a whole fucking movie of nonsense until like the very end where the nigga
you went through like a whole bunch of nothing just to get to like, oh, he was in a few plays.
Yeah, man. Look, if I watch that, if I ever watch Rudy again, it's to support Rock. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna. See, that's another one. Charles Dutton is always Rock.
He's always Rock.
He's always Rock. He ain't nobody else. He is Rock. That is Rock. Even when he was in Aliens, he was rocking Aliens. Like that's.
Yeah, but he wasn't the crappy alien movie.
But you know what? He was still Rock. So like, he
was Rock the rapist. That's what he was.
Yeah, basically.
Like the first thing that comes out of his mouth, he's like, "I'm a rapist and murderer of women," or whatever. You're like, "Oh, okay." So that's a big step for taking out garbage.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's a part of his program. You know what I mean? Like, it's the 12 steps is being, admitting. Like, I don't know which step it is, but it's like admitting that you have a problem.
I think it was because he didn't want Ripley to get too close to him. I think that's why.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But no, hey, what was that one with the ducks? Where they're like, they have to teach them how to fly. Where they're like, well, some ducks land on this guy's farm, and his daughter is like trying to get them to fly south.
I think I've seen the preview before, but I don't know the movie.
They tried to show that to us in school. I was like, get out of here with this. And then I saw it later, like years later, and I'm like, oh, fly. Flying Fox.
I just got one. I'm gonna tell you the one of the weird movies that they show you in school, and it kind of hits you a little bit at the end. Powder.
I've never seen that one, but I've heard of it.
Okay, here's the thing.
It got me a little bit at the end. It got me just a little bit. Just a little.
Piece of crap. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because it's because of who directed it and all.
Yeah. He's not the fault of the earth.
Yeah, he's like, so when you watch it again, Victor Salva, or I think that's his name. Well, he also directed the Jeepers Creepers movies. But so this is made by I'm going to go on a tangent here, but this movie is made by Disney, right? And so years before this, like one of his first movies, which turned out, I think it won some awards or whatever, but he like straight up raped the main character or whatever and went to jail and shit. So whenever you watch Powder, you're like, this movie was made by a rapist, and here's Powder out here with no clothes on. But and then Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh yeah, when that happened, everybody was like, "Oh, look at Powder! Look at the guy."
Yeah, but he was joking. Like back in the day, with I mean, when you think about it, he was like a trauma director. He directed like half the fucking big trauma movies, so they have like a not very PC sense of humor. But his jokes were about Victor Salva, an actual rapist. So they were him and like Lloyd Kaufman, I think his name is. Were like that was like an inside joke with them about like fucking pedophilia and shit because of Victor Salva. And then he's working for Disney. Disney fires him for tweets that he made back then, jokes about Victor Salva. And those, and Victor had made fucking movies for Disney, an actual rapist who didn't get fired, but the guy that made jokes about it got fired. But so yeah, that was some fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, so I finally got mine.
Yeah.
It had to be The Force Awakens at the end with Rey gives him his lightsaber. That got me.
Like fucking half that movie got me. Like when I first fucking saw you saw it in the fucking shit in this trailer, like the Millennium Falcon, like fucking Chewie, everything. Goddamn fucking nostalgia.
Okay, see, I was never a huge Star Wars fan, which is why I can enjoy the prequels and the this current slate of movies. I can enjoy them and be objective and be like, hey, that was a pretty decent movie, and I'm not judging like every little thing that happens. So
I love The Last Jedi. Like I know plenty of people, my buddy Max included, that were all big Star Wars fans that love Last Jedi. I think the people that didn't are just fucking they don't understand that they're 30 or 35.
Bro, let me tell you something. Like, I still get videos suggested to me on YouTube of people complaining about that fucking movie. And like, here's what had happened. I saw The Last Jedi after everybody else, basically. So I went and I was just like looking at like some like other discussions about the movie, like reviews and like, other people who liked it. And like that invited YouTube to start suggesting some of this other shit, and it never stopped. Like I still get like suggestions on YouTube. Maybe you want to watch this anti-social justice nonsense. Like, bruh, I didn't even ask for this.
When you get those, you can right click or the little three dots that'll say like "Do not suggest again," and that'll kind of calm it down.
And you can also like clear your watch history, and then calm it completely down, and just bring your watch history back up by the stuff you normally watch.
I guess, but like that shit is just weird. Like that shit still happens, and I guess I should do some of that. But I mean, I just never watch it, and I figured like me not watching this stuff would be like after a while they'd be like, all right, then maybe we should stop suggesting this shit. Nope.
Yeah, because as soon as my son watches FGTV or whatever, like I'm getting all fucking like weird fucking YouTube like creator shit like on my feed, and all I do is just fucking refresh my damn watch history, and then it's back to normal.
See, I don't do that only because there's something that I might have watched a long time ago, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go see. I forgot what that was called. Let me go through my watch history and see if I can find that. That's the only reason why I don't clear mine. But I don't get a bunch of weird suggestions in my suggestions thing.
Right, but you don't have other people watching your
No, it's just me.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right, I never did talk about mine. Are we talking about the thing that gets us all the time, or the thing that got me last?
Either.
That's the one that I was doing.
Thing that got me last. I already talked about it. I think I talked about it last week. Cobra Kai, bruh. Cobra Kai got me, bruh. I never expected to. I'm not very nostalgic. I never expected to connect to this in any way, shape, or form.
Oh,
let me tell y'all, bruh.
But before you go ahead, before I forget, Karate Kid's on CBS All Access. That's who is streaming it. You were wondering like where it is to find that.
No, I was just gonna rent it through Google. I got Google rewards. I got like $25 in Google rewards. I could spend $3 on a rental.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's an episode where he goes to Mr. Miyagi's grave. I was no good, bro. Like I was really no good. Like I was not there. And that thing got me so much. Like I couldn't even function. Like for real. And then there was something else before then. The Gifted. The Gifted got me. It was the thing that really got me before then. Because there's a scene that happens in The Gifted that reminded me of something that happened to me, and I was bawling. And then, like, you can actually hear this. There is an episode of The Dream Team, which I watched the episode that morning, and like not even 10 minutes later after it got me, the Dream Team started. So like you could find this episode. I mean, we haven't recorded the Dream Team in a while, so like you should be able to find this pretty quickly. But I okay, spoilers for The Gifted. I mean, didn't The Gifted just get canceled? Did it? Did anybody know? Does anybody watch The Gifted?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay. So spoilers for The Gifted. There's the main antagonist of the story. The main antagonist of the story, he was a government agent, and he is spurred on by a mutant protest that turned violent, and he ended up losing his child. So there is a direct connection to, like, this thing cost me my child. And so he is like gung-ho about trying to rid the planet, basically, or mostly the country, because he's a government agent, of the mutant menace. Okay, there's an episode where someone needs to extract some information from his mind. And so they have him captured. They're extracting information from his mind, and the process isn't complete. Like they have to go, the process isn't complete. And as a result of that, he loses some of his memories. When he is released from the hospital, he goes home and he starts talking to his wife about their child. He completely forgot that his child had been lost because of this. And him having to go through that, the realization that he lost his child to this, and him having to go through that again, and knowing that it had been taken from him, like the memory of that had been taken from him, that shit got me, bro. I was fucked up for a few minutes, and then I had to record a podcast.
Like something. Did you see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes.
Do you watch it regularly? The one where they go into the simulation and Henry Simmons gets his daughter back that he lost. And then when it was time for him to go, for him to leave the simulation, he did not want to go because he didn't want to lose his daughter again.
Well, did he lose his daughter again, or was she?
Well, she was a simulation too.
She was the simulation, but I don't think
The fact that, like, he finally got to connect with his daughter, which he never got to do in real life.
So if he left the simulation, he would lose her again, basically.
Yeah, he would lose her again, and so he did not want to leave, and they had to force him to leave, or else, they'd all die.
I thought that she was just a creation. I mean, maybe I missed that part, but I thought she was just completely made up in the simulation. And he knew that she was.
She was real at one point, and then I think she either died during childbirth or she died like a little bit later. But he never got to be with his child ever.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Okay, so that makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, so at one point she was real. He just never got to spend any time with her because I think she died very, very, very young.
Okay, yeah, that was some real shit, bro. That because he like really struggled with like, I know this isn't real, but like I don't know how to pull myself away from this. That was some real shit.
Yeah, and like the part where because everything starts cracking around them, everything starts breaking. And then she just starts disappearing, and then he's just like losing it, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah, that's some real shit, bro. I'm wondering, like, I'm looking this up because I'm trying to see, did it actually get canceled, or did I hear that it was getting canceled? I really like The Gifted. I started watching it when I had Hulu. I had never watched it before. I heard of it, but I had never watched it before. But I kind of liked it.
Is it the one that's based in the universe?
It's based in the X-Men universe, but like you don't really. It's like you don't get none of the real X-Men. The X-Men only really get mentioned, and because of the license or something like that, it was a little weird because they never. It got canceled. So Polaris's father is Magneto, but like no one ever really said his name in the show. Like maybe they couldn't use his name, but they never actually mentioned him by name. They just kind of talked around it. And like his involvement with the Brotherhood and all of that kind of stuff, all of that stuff comes up except his name, which is weird.
I hear your father has a magnetic personality.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's.
Have y'all tried watching those X-Men movies? Like, especially the first one. Have y'all tried watching those recently?
No.
I think one of them came on like TV one time, and I sat and watched it. I'm like, this movie still sucks.
I like the first one. I know it wasn't the best. But I like the first one.
What's the one everyone likes a lot? When that First Class or something?
First Class was one that people liked a whole lot. I thought it was cool. Am I the only one that thought it was cool?
I don't. You know what? All these movies run together. I don't remember any.
You know what? The only X-Men movie that I can honestly say that I did not like was 3.
Nobody liked 3. It was Brett Ratner. He's the guy who did Rush Hour.
Yeah. Bruh, they actually put "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch" in the fucking movie. Like they actually put that in the movie. Like, how can you take yourself seriously if you put "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch" in the movie?
I like how what's his name came into the was it Days of Future Past? What's his name? I can't forget his name. The guy who did the Star Trek, the reboots. Or whatever. The guy that everybody loves. Keep forgetting his name.
John Williams.
Who?
John Williams?
No, not John Williams. The guy who redid Star Trek. That's not good. Anyway, that guy. The guy who did, I think he did Lost.
Lens Flare. You know what I mean? Lens Flare. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, he's the one who did Days of Future Past, and he basically gave Brett Ratner the middle finger because he retconned all the shit he fucked up.
Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna find it. It is J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams basically gave Brett
Lens flare.
gave Brett Ratner the middle finger in that movie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the soundtrack to the Star Wars movies.
No, I'm talking about like the story of X-Men: Days of Future Past. Pretty much redoes everything that Brett Ratner messed up in the third movie.
Right.
Yeah, that was painful. Like, I'm so glad that I didn't watch Star Trek. X-Men. I'm so glad I didn't watch that in the movie theater, the third one. Like, I would have been so fucking pissed off. Like,
I was angry,
bro. Like, that movie was so bad. Like, how do you mess up an X-Men movie? Like,
nothing tops a '90s cartoon, man.
no. Well, see, here's the thing. Have you watched it recently? Within like the last, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah, I watched it in like 2011, and I thought it held up pretty good.
Two things. One, when you watched it at the time, like the amount of times you saw reruns and you saw Morph get fucked up, like, bruh, like, we get it, like, Morph got fucked up, like, can we move on? Like, it was like, we would, like, you know, this is back when we used to actually play outside, so, like, we'd wake up Saturday morning, go out and chill out and be like, yo, it's 11 o'clock, let's go do this. We all went home, and then we'd come right back out, man, it's the Morph episode. Like, that's how often they showed that first episode when Morph get fucked up. Like, they showed that shit so often, we was just like, man, it's the Morph episode. 2, Storm is fucking annoying in the cartoon. Like, she is just annoying as fuck. Like, why does every fucking thing that she does require a soliloquy? Like, it just doesn't. Like, and then, like, her claustrophobia is so overplayed. Like, she could be flying and, like, she could be inside of a building and she could be flying, and the inside of this building is huge. And then, like, some of the ceilings start coming down. All of a sudden, she's screaming, feeling claustrophobic. Like, bitch, there's a whole building here. It's just a little bit of the roof started to come down, and you acted like the whole shit is caving in on you. Like, every fucking time. Like, come on, man. Like, it's not this fucking serious. I get it. You're claustrophobic. Cool. But there's still a whole big-ass building out here.
So I gotta tell you guys something. I never watched this show. I think I would look it up when it came out, October '92. I don't think I was already done watching cartoons at this point.
Hold on. We're not talking about the same one.
The X-Men, the cartoon on Fox.
The '90s series we talking about.
Yeah,
they did. We did. You said.
It's on October 31st, 1992 is when it debuted.
92. Okay, yeah, we good. I thought you said something else.
Never watched this. Never seen. I think I was done. I was done with cartoons already. I think.
Are you serious? Like, I was all about this shit. Like, I would. Man, listen. I was kind of done with cartoons. I wasn't done with that one.
Yeah, I think it's just. I don't know. For some reason, I never watched it. I don't know why.
But yeah, it was kind of a risk for them. I think I saw some sort of documentary about it to where, like, at that time, you know, X-Men was pretty much like the Guardians of the Galaxy are now, to where it was like something new that wasn't new, but a lot of people hadn't really heard of them until that. And, like, the producers didn't even know if they should even do it or not or something, but they did it, and it was completely different than any of the other, like, superhero shows at the time. But now it's kind of like old news, but back then it was, like, completely different.
And then, like, see, like, I wasn't around for, like, when they started really, like, redoing shit and, like, rebooting the fucking cartoon with, like, Evolution and all that kind of shit. Like, I was out by then.
Yeah.
But for this iteration of the cartoon, man, I was all about that shit.
Because that was around the same time as Batman the Animated Series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See, I watched a few episodes of that. Maybe just like a few episodes from the first season, but even that I wasn't really into.
Batman the Animated Series was everything. Batman the Animated Series was so dope that we couldn't even tolerate Superman the Animated Series. Like Superman was just kind of like, other than the fact that Lex Luthor was black, like you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like by comparison, like we can't fuck with Superman. Like that's what I knew Superman was for me.
Yeah, and I watched some stuff about that to where, like, to make it, like, feel like Gotham and all this stuff, they drew all that on black paper. Because
it was basically permanent night.
Yeah, I know, because so to get around
that show at all, ever.
Yeah, I think maybe you were seeing some like daytime stuff in like a flashback or some shit like that. But like for the most part, like that shit, nothing ever happened during the day in that show one bit.
That should be the title episode, Permanent Night, but night like Dark Night.
No, I already got the title.
The emo show, because we're talking about all this emotional shit.
No, man. You know what the title of the show is? A Scratch. that is the title of the show is A Scratch, because that is the part from that Romeo and Juliet of like old boy from Oz overacting. And you know what? The reason why I connect to A Scratch, right, is because when we read it in school, I was Mercutio. That was my character, and I'm like, yo, I could have read it that way, like for real, like you know what I mean. I would have been in school like A Scratch, like you know what I mean, like. It's bullshit.
I remember when they came out, and like I went on a date to go see that movie. I remember I was so mad. I kept on yelling, like, "Why are they talking like this?" I never could get past that.
It took me a long time to be able to just understand Shakespearean stuff. Like it took me a very long time to understand it.
Yeah, what's crazy about Shakespeare is there's like just things that we say, and then you're like, yeah, that's from Shakespeare. Like, dead as a doorknob and shit like that is from Shakespeare. Like, and you're like, I don't even know where that's from. It's just something we've always said, but it could fucking come from Shakespeare. There's other ones too, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think the Shakespeare really like until college.
No, it was pretty much ninth grade for me. Like that's we went through some stuff.
I still remember Romeo and Juliet. There's this one part where like the king is like, "Give me my sword, ho," and we were like, "What?" And then our English teacher had to explain to us he's not calling his wife a hoe.
He's saying right now,
yeah,
right now.
And what's
right now?
What's funny is like Shakespeare, like we see him as like this, big thing from the past. It's like, masterpiece and whatever. But at the time, he was basically the Seth Rogen of that time. He's just like, just had like a fucking stupid sense of humor and like all this stuff, and it was.
Yo, remember that episode of The Good Place where like the bad guy said that he was explaining the plot to Entourage to Shakespeare, because they summoned him from the void or whatever, from the bad place, and he's in the middle of talking about Turtle and Ronda Rousey and stuff. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was explaining the plot to Entourage to Shakespeare."
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I got you, because that kind of went over my head because I know very little about Entourage.
No, it's just like
so I just kind of.
It's just a simple that it's a show on HBO. Just a simple fact.
He's basically saying he was trying to troll Shakespeare.
Yeah, pretty much.
Torture Shakespeare as well. I'm sure Shakespeare don't want to hear that.
Yeah. I can't wait till that shit come back, because the way they left the season off, I was just kind of
like my DVR did not record the last 2 or 3 episodes. I have no clue what happened.
Really?
The last one that I saw was the time knife. Chidi finds a time knife or whatever.
Oh no! So you don't know.
There's more? Is it on Hulu? Because I'll watch that.
It's on Hulu, and I'm just gonna say, okay, I can't say anything. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's some real shit happens, and then something they come up with a plan how they gonna take care of all of this, and then something happens and they completely fuck up their adversaries completely fuck up their plan.
Oh, was it when they bring back people from their recent lives? Was it that? Just nod your head or shake your head. Okay, that. Okay, yeah, I think I saw that, but I don't. I know I'm missing a few episodes. But yeah, I'll check it out at some point. Because my DVR stopped recording it for some reason.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what happens. They bring back somebody and it fucks everything up, and it's just like, what do we do? And then somebody makes the sacrifice.
They were like, you're not playing fair. And it's like, oh, we need to sit down and write the rules and bylaws and stuff to how we should do this. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, we need to start wrapping up, guys.
Yeah, we do. You know what? I ain't really watched a whole lot. I played a bunch of Division, but I watched my daughter play through some stuff because I have my daughter this weekend. She is playing through. I got my daughter started playing Persona, and now she's stuck. And I don't know how to help her because I ain't never played this shit. So,
which effeminate teenager is she?
Say again.
I said, which effeminate teenager is she?
I have no idea because I've never played Persona before. I had it downloaded because I game shared with somebody that had it. It was on my PlayStation, and I was like, "Yo, you probably like this." And she started playing, and now she's stuck. And I have
what difficulty is she on?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because you can, if you turn it all the way down, then you can just retry fights until you get it, just to go through the story. So if she's on a higher difficulty and she don't really know the whole turn-based thing, it could be kind of hard.
No, typically I tell her to turn it down. She's playing Saints Row 2, and she's on casual. But there was a part that even I struggled with that she got stuck on. Now here's the problem. So I did it for her, but in the process of doing this for her, I ran out of bullets. And the only way that I was going to finish this thing it was to use a cheat code and spawn in a weapon that I could use to finish this mission. Well, once you use a cheat code, you can no longer get achievements for that game, and you can't turn that back off. So now she's playing through the more stuff in the game, but she can't get no Chivos.
Well, it's just for that playthrough, right?
Yes, for that playthrough. So she still has her save where she was stuck and before I started helping her. But she's done more stuff since then. So it's do I really want to go back and have to do this long ass mission that's a pain in the ass again? She's doing the mission where anybody plays Saints Row 2, it's the mission where you have to stop the Brotherhood on the ship.
Oh, is that the one where you could run out of rockets?
Yes.
If you're not, yeah.
That's what
you got all these helicopters flying around, and you have no way to stop them.
That's what happened to me. I ran out of fucking rockets.
Yeah, that happens to me. I just have to reload the whole thing and just be more. Just save my rocket stuff.
Yeah, I you know what I did? I spawned in a minigun, right? But because my daughter doesn't know anything about guns, it said, I put in the code, I spawned in a minigun. And she was like, a minigun? That doesn't sound like anything. Oh. I just spawned in a minigun. I was like, it's gone.
Yeah. It's not because it's small. It just shoots small bullets really fucking fast.
A lot of them. A whole lot.
Well, I think eventually, I think it happens afterwards. If you unlock a whole bunch of stuff, you can eventually unlock unlimited ammo. But I think that takes a few playthroughs or something. that takes a while.
Yeah, but normally, like, parts to where there's, like, helicopters or something to take down, there's, like, plenty of that ammo to, like, get you through it. It's just you dying. Like, because... So that one doesn't have, like, plenty of ammo for you to get through it? Like, you could literally just, like, not be able to finish the game?
But see, here's the thing. They give you ammo, but you have to go all the way down to the bottom of the ship in between waves. And the waves come at you pretty fast. And once the wave actually hits, you can't get no more ammo. So if you can't make it back down to this area below on the ship, you're just kind of screwed. And that's what happened to me because it shit never comes back. So you're on the last wave, you run out of shit, you just don't have anything else. You just have a whole bunch of just regular weapons that the characters dropped. And of course, it was a 360 game, so like loading issues and like frame rate, bruh.
That's what I'm telling you. Like when you play it again on the one, it looks weird. Like parts of like the hair was like missing, and like it just has like this weird reverb now that it didn't have before.
Yes. So, yeah.
And then they even get it to work on PC if they use mods and shit.
Well, see, here's the problem with the PC. I do have it on PC, but the PC doesn't have, the PC has controller support.
But it's fucked up.
But the controller support is fucked up enough to whereas even when you're using a controller with the original controller support, it still has the button prompts from the keyboard. And then once you do the update, you have to manually configure your controls. And I play with two separate control schemes depending on if I'm the passenger or if I'm the driver of a car. I switch back and forth all the time, and that shit is just not easy to do on PC. Like, just not easy to do at all. So I just kind of gave up on my PC version. It was just done. Like, I just like, you know what? I can't do this. And I installed some mods that was supposed to help with that, and some that clean up the frame rate, some stuff that clean, because like Saints Row 2, just the original Steam version, has a ridiculously bad frame rate. But there's a mod set where there's a mod called Gentlemen of the Row, and you basically go in and you select all of the stuff that you want, and there's like a DOS file or some shit like that you just go in and you manually select some stuff, and then it creates a save that you put into the folder or whatever to give you the Gentlemen of the Row updates to everything. But it just wasn't good enough. So I ended up buying the 360 version for the one for like $2 each for 1 and 2. So
yeah, that's not bad.
It's just like the frame rate is terrible. Like watching her play is like some parts, like she was on a mission and like it was one of those missions where like you got a short amount of time to get to that area before the actual mission starts. And like once she got there, because of everything that was going on the screen, it was pretty much a flip book. For a little bit until the game kind of caught up, and then it was okay, but the frame rate was still bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but for me, I've been when I have a moment to spare, like my cousin is just like, "Come on, let's play some Division." I'm like, bruh. I'm at a 500 gear score. I am world tier 5, and it is really difficult. I have my chatterbox. I finally got the pieces to the chatterbox. I have a 490 chatterbox. It's actually pretty cool. It's an exotic SMG. It's an exotic P90 for the people who don't know. It's kind of fucking dope.
Well,
but
yeah, I just still been playing through Origin. It's a really good game. I went to a buddy's house on Friday, and we were going to play some Warhammer Kill Teams, but we didn't do that, and I shared my Steam library with them, and we were playing through a lot of the fucking Humble Bundle random shit that I had on there. And some of that shit is like fucking fun as shit, but I think it's more suited to like having friends over and just picking some random shit and just playing through it, because a lot of that shit is like local co-op. So they're like retro style beat 'em up games and like shit like that, and that was really fun, like just with some buddies. But I don't know if I just sit there and play it by myself, because one of them, it was 16-bit looking, but they had a filter on it that made it look kind of like it was like CRT, and it played really fun. I was like some sort of Minotaur dude, and he was like some sort of girl with a bikini. But it was really fun. But I played some Mass Effect 3 today with my brother in multiplayer. That shit got real. We never freaking passed the mission. We were on bronze, man. What the fuck, man? I was like, man, I don't remember this shit being this fucking hard.
Yeah, that shit has always been that hard for me. Like, it's always been that hard. Like, you need 4.
Yeah.
Like, I would not even do bronze without 4 people.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was telling him. He was like, man, do we suck? I was like, no, I think we just need 4 people, man. I mean, I think our other, because he had it through Origin Access or whatever, so I was like, hey, just let's get 2 other people to get Origin Access and we just play through this shit, because it's fun. It's just fucking hard. Mm-hmm. And I was wrecking shit with fucking Vanguard too, and like, it's just every now and again we just get fucking overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy. It's crazy, but man, you should have hollered at the fellas, see what's going on, because you know they, if they're available, they up for that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got anything else you want to mention, Sam? Oh man, we ain't talk about your trip, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean that's fine. Yeah, it was a trip to New York. It's pretty cool. I figured out the subway system pretty quickly, only because I've been taking mass transit, public transportation all my life. It's just like any other one. Once you figure it out, you're good. Seen a few things. Didn't see the only street crime I saw was like some turnstile jumpers.
Okay.
Didn't see any rats though. I was looking forward to the rats.
You ain't see no rats. You was in
No
New York. You ain't see no rats.
I look for them too. I poked my head down the tunnel. Nothing. I heard they also like to linger around the trash. Looked around the trash. Nothing.
So you didn't see no New York Slice just like walking down the
New York, the Pizza Rat. No, didn't see Pizza Rat. I wanted to meet him, get a selfie or something. No, I saw a video. I seen a video before my trip of like a rat actually chasing a dude and the dude screaming. Mm-hmm. And then like somebody was like, "Yo, that's gonna be you." I'm like, "Yeah, probably." But, no, it was a fun trip. Got to see some good wrestling shows. Got to see some sights. Got to went to the museum. Froze my ass off at the top of MetLife Stadium.
Really?
I should have done more research. Let's put it that way. I should have looked at the weather more. But no, I had a t-shirt and nothing else. And it was freezing. And I wanted to die.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a cool trip. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I was there long enough. The train to New Jersey, the PATH train, the fast train, sucks because it's not clear where you're supposed to go. And if it wasn't for like Tatiana King guiding me through that on Messenger, yeah, I would not have known how to get into New Jersey. I had to go to New Jersey because there was a show in New Jersey, and Cabana Man Dan was there. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I saw he was there, and he got put over by who?
Oh, he had a thing with Scott Steiner, but I didn't see that.
He posted one. It was a small clip of Scott.
Yeah, there was a clip of him, and there was a clip of him and Scott Steiner out there.
Yeah, I seen that on Instagram.
No, I actually got to take a selfie with him. I don't know if you checked that out or not.
No, I don't think I saw that one.
I finally got to meet the dude. Been a long time. Been knowing him for years. Now, are you familiar with wrestling superstar Virgil? Either one of you?
Yes.
Okay, so
he used to work with $1 Million Man, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's set this up real quick because I know we got to go. Okay, so wrestling superstar Virgil He was $1 million champion. He was the $1 million man's butler, if you will, his aide. Maybe around 98, 99, both WWF and WCW decided, we don't need you anymore. Goodbye. So he did nothing for a lot of those years, and then he started making quote-unquote public appearances at like shows and stuff. Nobody cared. And so he basically got this whole thing of Lonely Virgil. There's actually a website called lonelyvirgil.com.
Wow.
Where it's around, it's still there, but I don't think it's active. Where people will take pictures of him at conventions and shows sitting by himself and nobody around him. And they did a thing where like they would actually Photoshop him into like different parts of like cities and stuff like that. Like they Photoshopped him at the Great Wall of China by himself sitting there. It kind of became an internet thing. Okay. Where just like he's just by himself. There was a story that somebody told where they booked him to appear at this guy's the thing you do before you get married, your party, your bachelor party.
Bachelor party?
And the guy would not leave.
Oh.
Yeah, it became a thing on the internet. And so he's basically become like a running meme, kind of like Lonely Virgil, the guy. He was at the show with Cabana Bandana. He was in the crowd, just wandering around. And like, it was just weird. I'm like, look, it's Virgil. He's here. And then so I was making jokes with friends that he's probably trying to bum like a Uber ride or something. And then like a friend of mine was like, yo, he didn't charge you $10 just for being in his presence.
Yeah, he's like, let me hold it straight, young blood.
Yeah, and then but he was there. He was just like wandering around. I'm like, yo, that's Virgil. That's crazy. But yeah, so I had to go to New Jersey to see Cabana Man Dan wrestle. And that was cool. Then I had to go back, and that was an adventure. But at first, when I first got into New Jersey, I was like, you know what? This place isn't bad. This place is nice. I don't know what everybody's talking about. And then I walked a little further. I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah, you don't realize the realness, how real it gets until you get just outside of the tourist areas.
Yeah, because like right when you exit the train station, there's like a little walking area. I forgot what it's called, but there's like a little village where pedestrians can just walk in the street and there's no traffic going through. Walk a little past that, and you'll see the real New Jersey.
Yeah. It's, you know what, my only thought, like I've never been in New York, I've been through New York, and my only thought is this place is a lot dirtier than it looks on TV. I mean, it just looks dirty as fuck, dog. Like I don't know what it is. Like it just looks like there's no glitz and glamour. It's just grime.
Well, it's like the touristy parts are really, really nice and clean. There's some dirty stuff in there, but yeah. But I mean, it's the same New York that I see on TV. Like I watched the YPD Blue for its entire run, and that's pretty much what it looks like. I will say though, like I was expecting to just be around some rude assholes. No, people there are actually nice. It's weird. Like I was not expecting that at all.
What's that? Because all of y'all tourists was in the area.
No, I was not in the tourist areas. Like I was, I was in the neighborhood.
Okay.
No, like the one time
going up to people's houses and stuff.
The one time that I actually did go to the tourist areas, I was complaining about all these tourists. I was like, man, like have you seen that one monument? It's like it's like a 4 letters to spell out hope, and it's in a square. I'm sure you've seen that before. Mm-hmm. You can't get a picture of that thing because there's so many tourists just hanging around it.
Yeah, I've seen your picture of it where you just basically had to go to the other side.
Well, no, I was just on the other side, and I was trying to get around the other side. I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. Here, it's the same thing. Yeah, I have a backwards picture of it. I actually did get into it with this one old man. I was really about to fight him just because he was just. There was this old man staying at the hotel I was at, and he was eating some hot food or something. And then this man's like over here, like pantomiming that he's having a heart attack or whatever. He's just like being just all kinds of extra dramatic, just being all kinds of extra. And then he's like, "Oh my god, oh." So I was like, "Dude, are you all right?" He got mad at me for asking him if he's all right. I was like, he's like, fuck you asking me that for? I'm like, all right, then fuck you. Have your heart attack. I don't care.
You just straight up became a New Yorker.
You know what? That's exactly what I was thinking. You know, look, the moment he just gets so fed up that he just doesn't want to say anything and just goes, like, that's when we know that he's a fucking New Yorker.
Oh, that dude was full of shit though, because that whole weekend he was trying to hustle people in the pool. Because like there's like a little romp area rather there, where they have like pool tables and tennis, ping pong table and stuff. It's a hostel basically. So anyway, anytime somebody starts playing pool, here he comes. So y'all be shooting pool, huh? Like, dude, get out of my face. He's trying to people, and it's just so funny. He went to sleep in the lobby. People kept passing by and taking pictures of him.
Wow.
But that dude was just something else, and he was getting on my nerves, and I was really about to fight him. Some other guy was about to fight him too.
Well, was he just like not even part of the hotel, and he was just like staying there?
No, he was staying there, but for some reason, I mean, it's obvious. Okay, that hostel does not give rooms to New York residents, but this guy was clearly a New York resident. But for some reason, I guess he must have an out-of-state ID or something, or they felt sorry for him. I don't know, but he clearly lives in that city. He's just like an asshole. He's just like, I want to beat your ass. But yeah, he was just like on something else. That dude was sitting there talking to his food and stuff, talking on the phone all loud. I was just like, I've had enough with you.
Back up, he was talking to his food?
He was talking to his food. He was like, oh, I can't eat you. You're too spicy for me. Like, dude, get out of here.
Was it ranch?
Huh? Was it ranch? No, it was like Chinese food, but I guess he got the spicy, the hot.
He got that curry, huh?
Something, I don't know. And then he was just like over there, like he's Fred Sanford doing the whole Elizabeth thing. That's when I was like, okay, but he's the only jerk that I really ran into. Everybody else was cool. There was this guy in the hotel like spouting off some anti-Semitic stuff, but other than that, he got into it with that guy. Those two got into it, and it was so funny because I could hear it through the door.
Wow.
Because he was like, the old man goes in there and he turns on the light, and you can hear the other guy, the anti-Semitic guy, going, "Hey, who the fuck told you could turn on the light?" And then the two of them just get into it. It's just so funny. I wish I had recorded the audio. It was great.
Hey, have you watched any of Devious Mr. Matt's motorcycle videos?
Have I? No.
There's one, I don't know if it's probably easy to find because that's probably got a lot of views, where he and this old man on a scooter get into it over some curb or something. It's the funniest fucking shit.
I'll have to watch. But getting out of MetLife Stadium. So WrestleMania ended.
We got to wrap soon.
Okay, well, let me just tell you this: it ended way past midnight, way past the time that the trains were running. There was almost a whole stadium full of people who had taken the train who were stranded until 4 or 5 in the morning. Because the only thing that was coming out of there was buses. And you could only load so many people on a bus. So there's people I know that didn't actually get home until 7 a.m.
Fuck.
But I was straight though because my friends Pace Turner and them, they knew somebody with a car. So it didn't take me about 30 minutes to get back to the hotel.
Okay, that's good.
So that's about it.
All right, I think we're done here. We've done the thing.
Cool. Let's get out of here, man. Let's do it. Let's do this.
Okay. Oh, you may have to cut this part because you know what had happened while he was talking. I was kind of fixated on this Facebook video, and I just completely lost there's this video, or I'm gonna say this Facebook video of this guy enjoying this song and his mama was in the back, and he is enjoying the song, and his mama is in the back sitting in a chair, and she starts like gyrating her boobies or whatever, and then his mama stands up and starts twerking, and he's like, "Oh Lord, mama, like what is you doing?" Like, and he is like upset because his mama started twerking, and it's just like, bruh, if your mama ain't never twerking for a dude, like you wouldn't be here. So so like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I was looking at. So again, thank everybody. Thank y'all for joining me today. Thank you for everyone that's listening. All of the people who subscribe to the YouTube channel, the painting YouTube channel, because I have done the drawing. I'm going to record it as a video. I know who is a winner. I know who the winner is. The winner is someone who does listen to the show. But I don't want to say it here because I want to record a video and put it up there. So, thank you to everybody for listening, and we will be back shortly with some more hotness. So, for the homie Chase and Sam, homies Chase and Sam, I'm Scarfinger. This is Scarcasm, and we're out of here. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Whoa. I'm telling. All right, I ain't gonna talk.